It's called Slantedvision, Asian Europeans in Film and Media. I am myself Korean-German. My parents came to Germany as so-called guest workers in the 60s and 70s. Germany has a long history of immigration, just as does many countries in Europe. They have a long colonial history, all of those countries. And what's striking is the absence of diversity or the multicultural heritage. And in terms of representation, what can be seen in TV and film of people living and doing and working in Europe, different backgrounds, but especially of Asians. And we started thinking of that, and the questions I would like to raise is, why is that? And if there are some representations, they are so packed with cliches, so still working with cliches, they are so prevailing, and what can be changed and what should be changed? It's always a struggle of recognition and replacing cliches. We are working hard on literally fighting against cliches. You know, they are being reduced, so some kind of images, and you can just click on the button and they remain the same. Why is it so? And what can be done, like in terms of visions and our kind of wish, or the way we want it to be represented, or better, to put it better, how we want to represent ourselves in the media in Europe, right? So I would like to introduce briefly the panel participants. To my left, we have O Natapong. O was born and raised in Thailand. He's lived in Bangkok, LA, and now London, and speaks English and Thai fluently. His first short film, Bicycles and Radios, was nominated for a Student Academy Award. In 2005, the film was screened at the Cannes Film Festival after he was selected by Kodak to be one of its emerging filmmakers. He was also chosen as one of the 30 young talent to watch by GM Plus magazine. Is it true? Now, O has been awarded Best New Director at Films from the South Festival, Norway, for his feature film A Moment in June, which is screening in Cinematia, and had a premiere in Busan 2 years ago. Right? To my right, sorry, is Kit Hong. Kit is an independent filmmaker from Hong Kong. He studied film production in the US and Hong Kong. Kit is most notable for his graduation film, I'm Not What You Want. Yeah. His film is significant in queer culture in Hong Kong, as it challenges the stereotypes of Hong Kong gay men and gives a different representations in homosexuality in Hong Kong. Hong is openly gay.
Well, now you are.
And has stated so in his last film, latest film, Soundless Wind Chime, which was screened this year at the Rose Film Target in cooperation with Cinematia, and also premiered in Berlinale last year. So emerging new hot filmmakers here. Hong Tong-bu, this is the first time we meet. Hong Tong-bu is advisor for general marketing in China and for media productions about China. He co-founded CRTV, Chinese Radio and TV. Once said, he tries as much as possible to avoid expressing opinions in his programs. CRTV broadcasts in Dutch, Cantonese, and Mandarin and tries to reach all the Chinese living in the Netherlands from different generations and backgrounds. We are trying to build bridges. We want the Dutch to understand more about China and the Chinese who live here, but also in China itself to understand more about Europe. Our choice of subjects reflects that point. So, kind of different perspective there in terms of the medium. We're doing more radio and TV. Karl Richter, I understand. He's a Korean adoptee filmmaker, actor, and television host. He has his own company, Plugin, a creative lab, producing creative concepts and films and giving advice to organizations regarding to the use of audio-visual content. Paul is a well-known Dutch television personality and famous as a filmmaker for his short film Sweet Tomato, Crush, and his latest documentary about fellow Korean adoptee and famous harpist Lavinia Maria. The title is Playing for the Past, which is also screening in Cinemasia.
My full name is Hetty Nijkens.
Nijkens.
Helmrich.
So it's a double last name. She is the founder of the production company Scarabée Films. This production company is specialized in producing creative documentaries, short films and feature films about artistic, cultural and social issues for both theatrical releases and television broadcasting. Scarabée Films almost always focus on other cultures. Scarabée Films produce, for example, The Position of the Sun, Moon, Stars, which is a trilogy, and Yang Ban Qi Fan Yang Tinyuan. In 2008, Hetty Nijkens released a documentary, Contraceptions, concerning the arrival of Indo-Dutch in the Netherlands.
Attract hotels.
Hotels as well. Right. Thanks so much for coming and taking part. And I would like to start with your work on putting so much energy and work and documentaries about Indonesian Dutch history. Why is it important or so important to you to make it known and to make it visible for Indonesian Dutch history?
Yeah, as most of you might know, is that Dutch Holland, but Indonesia, it wasn't Indonesia. Indonesia is a country, but before 1949 there was no Indonesia. There was another country, and the country was called Dutch Indies. And there were three parts of people. So most people here in Holland, they are a mixed product who have an Indonesian background. They are not. They don't call themselves Indonesians, but Indies. And the thing is that it's the part of the history of 350 years of colonization of Holland. So the people who came from Indonesia to Holland during 49 till 68, not 62, 68, they are all have a Dutch connection. They all have, or they have Dutch blood. I know that you don't need like this thing, but they are all connected with Holland in a way, because otherwise they couldn't enter this Holland, because otherwise there would be millions of people coming to Holland, and now there were only 300,000. So between the years I mentioned, there are 300,000 people, and now there are about 1.2 million people in Holland who are Dutch, but with a Dutch-Indonesian background. And most of those people don't know their own history, and that's why I make films about it, because most of the Dutch-Indonesian in Holland who have a Dutch-Indonesian background don't feel Asian at all. Yeah. They feel themselves Dutch, and because of their parents are telling them that they are Dutch, and their grandparents are telling them that they're Dutch. Because before, during the colony, because when it was the Dutch Indies, they were Dutch as well. They were Dutch in that colony.